This is where manga comes to talk. Well, I posted this on my community section here on YouTube. When I woke up early this morning and I saw that Kash Patel and President Trump had picked Dan Bongino to be the deputy director of the FBI, I thought I was dreaming. Maybe it was Babylon Bee. I couldn't believe it really happened, but it did. And that sends a message like nobody's business. The lawfare people that have been after President Trump and since he was running, have got to be terrified now. Over the weekend, they found out that President Trump had him taken out of the Oval Office because they found listening devices in it. Can you believe this? So, I know, it's crazy. What's going on right now is the real deal. This is with Dan Bongino as the deputy FBI director. This is draining the swamp times infinity. He's been very vocal for years about everything they've been doing to President Trump, and it is bigger than anyone could possibly imagine. These lawfare people are got to be in panic mode, even with their arrogance and denial that they're typically in. This has had to have freaked them out beyond imagination, no doubt about it. If you're new, make sure you subscribe. Now, with that being said, because we'll talk about that a lot when I get on the air in less than an hour, taking your calls. I'm surprised that Dan Bongino is doing this because it involves walking away from both his radio show and his podcast, which is a huge multi-million-dollar business. And for him to walk away from that for the deputy FBI director job is really shocking, because typically people like that, they're living at that lifestyle, and it's not so easy for them to walk away from it. And he did. And there was a lot of talk that he should be the director of the Secret Service. This is better, because now what we have with Kash Patel as the FBI director, Pam Bondi as the Attorney General, and Dan Bongino is the Deputy Director of the FBI. It's the triumvirate. I mean, this is a team that's going to be knocking down doors. It's hard to imagine that they could decide, okay, we got to do this first. But one of the things I'm going to ask you all on the air is, where do you think they'll start? They have not put this team together of Bondi, Patel, and Bongino without some real strong directives on where they're going to go. Is it going to be towards the assassination plotters? Is it going to be towards the particular judges and all of this? It's hard to say, isn't it? It's an absolute amazing miracle. Now, all that being said, on a selfish note, this leaves open a big void on nationally syndicated radio with Bongino, and without question, I should be the replacement for Dan Bongino on the radio. Without question. Don't you guys agree? I should be the replacement. And I'm not kidding. I am not kidding. Oh man, I would very much love that. And without question, I would be the best pick. There's no one they could pick to replace Dan Bongino on his nationally syndicated radio show than me. No getting around that. And I hope you guys would agree with that. Not that they're going to call me, but they should. They should. So if anybody's watching who's in the Bongino national syndication circuit, I'm your guy. I'd be very happy. I'd be very happy. Oh man, maybe I wouldn't have to work 120 hours a week and by the way, that's how many hours, my wife added it up, and I've been working 120 hours a week. I'm not kidding. Maybe I could cut back a little bit to like 90, 80, 100, But no, I'd very much like to be the replacement for Dan Bongino on his radio show. I'm not going to lie. I mean, that would be a dream come true. A dream come true. Oh, man. But they're going to really do some investigating, because Dan Bongino and Kash Patel and Pam Bondi, Pam Bondi said the other night on an interview, Pam Bondi, she said, we're all a team and we all want to protect Trump. We all want to protect him. He's never had that before. And this swamp draining that's going on, with USAID, I was reading in Breitbart that Vindman was, they said, trying to get a $12 million deal from USAID. I don't know if he was successful in getting it. It was a little vague as to whether or not, yeah, Brian Gino, that's right. I changed my name to Brian Gino if they'd give it to me. The fact that these are hardcore MAGA, patriot, Trump loyalists that are now in charge of every aspect of our federal justice system, I'm really expecting high-profile arrest and investigations. None of this dancing around and special counsels, and then 2 years go by, and then somebody gets charged that we never heard of. But the thing about USAID, my guess is, following that, it's not the only source, but USAID was probably one of the largest sources that all these evil people used to fund everything and pay everybody off. So they took a big hit with that, no question. And these lawfare people, the judges, Fannie, Letitia, Bragg, those that were at the Justice Department in the Biden regime, everyone involved in because there are clear connections between the two assassins, which are bizarre. There's there's going to be some high profile arrest. There just are. There's too many very bad and evil people involved for there not to be. The investigations have kind of been done. I mean, these are not investigations from scratch. They just didn't have the authority of the FBI and the Justice Department, the Attorney General, to carry them out. So these should be very, very short investigations with some very high profile arrest. And I would think that when Dan Bongino got named by President Trump and Kash Patel to be the FBI director, the deputy FBI director, that told me, and I think everyone, that they're not playing around. They are not playing around. When they shot Trump in Butler, and then they tried to do it again here in Florida, that was just one of those moments that he went through where he's done. He's done, playing around, and he's doing what's got to be done. There's just no getting around that. Oh yeah, yeah. They know where to go already, right? Because everything's been high profile, and these lawfare people never dreamed that Trump would be back, right? And because they didn't dream he would be back, they really didn't cover the tracks too much. And in this day and age, there's an electronic footprint for everything. Oh, yeah. I am expecting really high-profile arrests. And Bongino has spent a lot of time focused on Schiff. Schiff's got to be freaking out. They've all got to be freaking out. There's just no getting around it. Now, if you're new, my name's Brian. I'll be on the radio in about 45 minutes, taking your calls. So make sure you subscribe if you're new to my channel. This is most definitely where MAGA comes to talk. But I most definitely should be the Bongino replacement on the radio. There is no one in this country that they would replace Bongino with on the radio that would do the job that I do. There's no one. I am the without question. If I say this, toot my own horn, which I don't do very often, I'm the perfect replacement for him on his stations. I would, in the ratings, I would beat everybody in the market. Everybody. It wouldn't even be a competition. I would beat everyone in the market, and in every market I was in. Because if I what I don't have now, I have no promotion. I have you guys and your word of mouth, which is awesome, and I appreciate that. But if I had a national team behind me to do marketing and promotion, it's Wayne, it's not the kind of thing you apply for. It's not, it's not a job at Walmart. You just don't apply. Welcome, everyone. Yeah, I know. 100. I've been working 120 hours a week. I was very tired when I podcasted. Yeah, 120 hours a week. My wife added it up. Some weeks more. Never less. So, but I got to do what I got to do. If I became the Bongino replacement, I'd have a team, so I wouldn't have to do everything myself. Right? But that announcement, I couldn't believe it was real when I saw it. I could not believe it was real. I really couldn't. I saw that. I was like, what? I woke up. I grabbed my phone. I look at the news, and then I took a shower, and because I'm like, this can't be real. So I had to wake up. So I took a shower, got my coffee, came back and looked. I was like, oh my goodness, it is real. It is real. And I would imagine Bongino isn't going to be some office deputy director. I see Bongino being with the teams when they make the arrest in person, don't you? I see him going there and making the arrest. Yeah, not just overseeing it somewhere in D.C. I mean, actually going there and being like the in charge of the agents that are doing the arrest. And these people, not only, what they've done to Trump these last 10 years is what they do in banana republics. So not only do you need arrest of high-profile people that are behind this, because, the high-profile people who did all this, it needs to be done publicly with perp walks and everything, like in the old days. Craig Bongino. Yeah, that'd be good. I would change my name if it would get me the gig. Yeah. I mean, I would be so freaking happy. Could you imagine? Oh, my goodness. National radio has not heard anything like I would do. Well, you guys listen to the show. You know what I do. I mean, I'm doing well now, but that would be better. A lot better. It certainly would. Now, a couple years ago, I wouldn't have been so eager because you'd have all these lawfare people. But now we've got law-abiding people running the different agencies of government. And I could definitely use not working 120 hours a week. That's why I started broadcasting from home a few days a week, because I just couldn't handle the schedule. I was going to have a heart attack. Oh, yeah, definitely. All right, we're going to take the drive. Dark MAGA mode activated. I'm just going out to get some coffee, then I'm coming back. I'm all set up and ready to go. Oh man, the idea that Bongino, as the deputy director of the FBI, with this team, Pam Bondi, Kash Patel, and Bongino, these are not people that play around. This is going to be some really, really big stuff's going to be happening, and when it happens, it's going to be huge. Bongino is not going to play around. He'll definitely be in the field. And I'll tell you, he's very passionate about it, because for him to walk away from his podcast as well as his radio show, that is so many millions of dollars a year. I mean, I don't know what he makes, but it is millions of dollars. And that's a lot of income to walk. You don't walk away from something like that just to have some job title. He plans on doing business. He's maybe if he was named the director, but deputy director, which is, it's a powerful position, but you don't walk away from what Bongino's walking away from unless you mean to do business. And they have to drain the swamp, because if they don't drain the swamp, Pam Bondi, Kash Patel, and Bongino, when and hey, as crazy as this sounds, Democrats will one day again be in power, right? When the Democrats are back in power, if they don't drain the swamp and in this lawfare, they'll be coming after them for this. So, people throw patriot around pretty loosely, and what I've just seen with Dan Bongino is what he has done is very much like our founding fathers did, our great founding fathers that the liberals hate. And what I mean by that is this: he's walked away from a fortune, he's risking his fortune, and he's risking his freedom, because if Bondi, Patel, and Bongino, the triumvirate of swamp drainers here, if they don't do what has to be done with draining the swamp, they will end up in jail one day. They will harass them and their families forever. So this is the real deal. And this is the risk that, like I give an example, Pete Hegseth, who's awesome, okay, awesome. And what he's doing is pretty hardcore. But what Bongino and Patel, they would put those two in prison for what they're about to do. Getting rid of these wokesters and everything that are running the military is not, I don't want to, downplay what Pete Hegseth is doing. But his long-term risk of his freedom and his ability to earn a living in the future is not really at risk. With Bongino, Patel, and Pam Bondi, it is. They would put these three in Guantanamo Bay, the Democrats, if they're not successful with the swamp draining, when that sad day comes and the Democrats are in power again. And, so these three are not going to be messing around. There's just no getting around it. They're there for business. I mean, it's completely insane that this has happened. It really, truly is. I mean, I am in shock. I was not expecting that. I really wasn't. Now, if he was named Secret Service Director, I wouldn't be shocked. But this is something. And, we got a team here with Bongino and Kash Patel and Pam Bondi. We've never had a team like that, not the Republicans. I don't know if anyone in the United States government has had a team like this. They're the Super Friends. The Super Friends, the Avengers, X-Men, everything. I mean, they're everything. It's amazing. It's amazing. I'm still pinching myself. I'm still getting used to the idea that President Trump's back at the White House. I mean, what the heck? No, this is not like O.J. Simpson, the Dream Team. The O.J. Simpson Dream Team, they had an easy task. They put together a racist jury right after the Rodney King incidents, and all that. So that was the dream team had an easy time there. That jury decided they were going to go not guilty before they saw the evidence in the OJ trial. So no, this is bigger. This is just bigger. I mean, there's never been a team like this assembled. There just hasn't. And not in the United States of any level. Nothing. I mean, the only kind of things that could come close to it would be like Eisenhower, Patton, Bradley, you know. But this is, I can't even describe, because I'm still getting used to the idea. They don't open for a few more minutes, so let me check out the chat while I'm waiting. No. But this is like a Christmas gift, having Dan Bongino as the right-hand man to Kash Patel, who's right under Pam Bondi. You know, I don't know. Will Bongino report to work today with the FBI? We don't know. This is, you know, the most important appointments President Trump has made is Pam Bondi, Kash Patel, and Bongino. Those are the three most important people in his entire administration. Yeah, I would think he would show up today. I would, yeah. And you guys follow Bongino. Who would he go after first? Oh my goodness. You know, it's hard to say, you know, if you think about it, are these lawfare people worried, or are they so arrogant in their cult, in their Never Trumper cult? It's hard to say, isn't it? Absolutely. Yeah, welcome. Now, if you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe. I'll be live on the radio in about 30 minutes taking calls on this. And it hasn't sunk in yet. It's so huge and just beautiful. I mean, it does not get better than this. You know, he didn't have a team like this the first time around. And this insane, out-of-proportion lawfare that they brought against President Trump the last 4 years during the Biden regime, they brought this on themselves. I mean, they just got so out of control. No, I know. This is not a Senate confirmation. He's in. That's it. That's it. And they probably, President Trump and Kash Patel and Bondi, they probably knew they were going to do this all along, as did Bongino. They just kept it on the down low, which is not easy to do, so it didn't become an issue. Jasmine Crockett, who can, you know, Jasmine Crockett's so, you know, I'll tell you though, AOC's got to hate Jasmine Crockett. She's getting all the attention now. But this is, Karen says, watch your health, too many hours of work and lack of, I know, you know, listen, a lot of people work long hours, but when I tell you that I've been working 120 hours a week for the last really 2 years, that's not an exaggeration. My wife's been keeping track. And I have, you know, but you know, it's got to do what you got to do. But I would love for the Bongino people to put me on the radio in his place on all his stations. Oh my goodness. That would be beautiful. That would be beautiful. I'd be very excited about that. Oh my gosh. I would start immediately. If they called me today, I'd be there tomorrow. Yeah, believe me, I wish I didn't have to work so much, but, you know, I'm a one-man band. You know, everything I do, I got, you know, I've got the radio show, I've got the podcast, my YouTube channel. There's a lot that goes on off the air, a lot. And I have very little help. I have some support at the radio station, but Not a lot. So, you know, when you do everything yourself, that's what happens. All right, so they open. All right, well, I'm going to sign off. If you're, but I'll be back in 30 minutes. If you are new, make sure you subscribe and click that notification bell. The main stream is already set up, so you can hop into the chat room over there. All right, guys, I'll see you in a few. Thanks for watching. Take care.